What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to HBCU Pulse Radio. Randall Barnes here. And listen, it is homecoming season. And it's a lot going on. It's a lot that goes on every homecoming season. So we got to talk about like the state of HBCU homecoming and what's really happening, because we got to have some conversations about what's happening. And I got the perfect person here to have this conversation. Fax Kool-Aid in the building, TikTok superstar, Texas Southern University student, and content creator for HBCU Pulse and Clutch Points. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
Listen, I'm good. I know for me, it's Fort Valley's homecoming week, but it's a little bit different for me because I am grown. Okay, like I'm out of there. Like it's a little bit different. And I know you just had homecoming, so tell me about how did your homecoming go?
The homecoming, because we was the first one of the year. We've been the first homecoming for like the last 3 years. This year it was actually fire. I ain't gonna lie. Like TSU's homecoming was actually fire. Like from the parties to even the concert, we really worked with what we had. We was able to get two bounce artists, and then we was able to get YTB Fat. And I messed with Fat. I was back there with him, you know what I'm saying, before and after the concert. Same thing with Vicky Lowe. So I mean, I can't lie. It was a good, to me, it was actually good. It was actually good. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was able to shake back. Campus was a little dead during the day because everybody was trying to recover, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, everything was smooth, bro. It exceeded my expectations. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not saying that they were low or anything, you know what I'm saying? Go Tigers. But you know what I'm saying? My expectations were kind of exceeded for this homecoming. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I feel that. So let me ask you this. So this is something that for me, even when I was a student at Fort Valley, I always sort of wondered, because I know when I was at my HBCU, like I gained more of an awareness of like national HBCU life in about like 2016, 2017. At Fort Valley, like going into 2017, we had a homecoming concert for 3 years. And our homecoming concert in 2014, before I got to Fort Valley, was Sway Lee, Slim Jimmy, Ray Shremmerd. Like that was our homecoming concert that year.
And back then, that would have been back then, that's a good concert.
It was, but they were just coming up on the scene. Like if it was like 2016, we beat everybody with that lineup. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that was back when they were like first coming to the scene, right? So we didn't have a concert for 3 years, and eventually everybody was like, "Man, we want a concert." So SGA sort of runs our concerts, and we had Lucci that was our headliner, right? So like for us, it was huge because we had a concert, but I didn't even know the concert thing was a big deal for homecoming until that moment. So I want to just ask you, just to start it off, like what makes a homecoming special in your opinion? As a student, is it the week of events, as far as on campus events, pep rally, concert, day party, what have you, or is it that concert situation?
It's a plethora of things. Like you got the concert. That's the big deal. But I'm realizing not all schools have concerts. My school was close to not having a concert last year and then Lee Chopper came. You know what I'm saying? That story, I done told that story plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? Not even just that, but the events during school and after school. You know what I'm saying? Your SGA or your UPC or your CAB at every single school, they gonna make sure that you have at least fun events that the school can provide for the students. Because some schools, they may not have like the resources or the venues to throw a party after like every single day. Unlike a school like Houston or PV where there's a party outside every single day, some schools may not have that. So it's really a combination of your in school like activities and programs during homecoming week, then the after hours, whether it be at a party or whether it be at a lounge. I know I'm in Houston, Texas, so homecoming in Houston, that's just the whole city of Houston is on fire. But at other schools, the during school events, after school events, the concert, and then of course the tailgate. Like don't even get me started on that. But the tailgate, that's a big homecoming tradition for HBCUs. Whether you old in your 70s, in your 60s, in your 50s, or whether you just got to college 18, 19, 20. That tailgate is the time where everybody is around. Everybody's turn. I just made a video about that. I basically told people, because they're all like, okay, what party should I go? What party should I go to on the same day as homecoming game? I said, man, look, bro, if you got a good tailgate, you don't need to go to a party. Like, you don't need to go to a party if you got a good tailgate, bro. Even if it's not the biggest tailgate in the world, you get you a good tailgate, you ain't gonna want to go anywhere. So it's really that combination. It's not just one thing. And then also, to me, how hard everybody be stepping. I always mention that's when everybody looks their best. That's when everybody looks their best. I love me some black women. I'm not afraid to say it. During homecoming, oh Lord God, like, just being honest, you know what I'm saying? So that combination of things, everybody's vibe, in school events, after school events, even for the alumni, the events that the alumni association puts on for them, tailgate. I wouldn't even say much of I guess football game too. Obviously, that's what homecoming is all about. But yeah,
Not you said the football game too. I mean, I know. Listen, Texas Southern, shout out to y'all. I know Texas Southern when it comes to football. It's been a little bit different. You know what I mean? But the football game gotta matter. The football game gotta matter. Did you get up?
Man, I can't lie, man. That is.
Listen, for the podcast radio audience, when I said that Fats Kool-Aid got up, like he walked away, because it's been a little bit rough for Texas Southern when it comes to football. Basketball, they like that. They go into March Madness, like, but football been a little bit different in the SWAC. All right.
I mean, but look though, man, we still gonna support our boy. Or I will. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will. You know what I'm saying? But we end up getting the dub during homecoming. You know what I'm saying? We end up getting the win. We might have played a school that doesn't deserve to compete with us. You know what I'm saying? The Tigers. But we end up getting the win during homecoming. So
hey, listen, that's always the goal. But that's the funny thing about it. So, like, let me ask this then, right? So when it comes to HBCU life on the HBCU sports side, a lot of folks say that like HBCU folks don't care about football. Like you look at like Alabama, you look at Georgia, you look at Vanderbilt. Like as we're recording this, Vanderbilt on Saturday beat like top ranked Alabama, and they took the goal. Like they took the goal from the field and they were parading around the city with it. And we wonder like if an HBCU like be like a school that was really like that, would we do that? And there are reasons why that probably wouldn't happen, some legal and law enforcement reasons, you know what I'm saying? But it goes to the fact that a lot of people feel as if HBCU students and alumni don't really care about football. Maybe not the older alumni, maybe like the younger alumni around my age. So what do you think about that? Do HBCU folks care about football?
No. And let me just explain why. Then this is not my personal opinion on it, because I'm a support. You know what I'm saying? I'm a support. I got a whole lot of homies on the football team. I wouldn't just say if you're playing Division I football, you don't suck. But many people believe that HBCU football sucks. Now again, basketball, a completely different story. You got people from HBCUs that go to the league every day, even at HBCU football. But as a whole, like they don't feel like we playing anybody who's, you know what I'm saying, of amazing competition. You won't ever see an HBCU play a Power 5 school, and if they do, it's rare. So many students, they feel like that the football team at their HBCU sucks. You know what I'm saying? It was just I ain't gonna lie, man. It's gonna be funny. I know he's gonna see this. It was just this TikTok about NCAT's football team. Right now, NCAT is like the commercial HBCU in the country. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. They lost to, I believe, Central. Like, and it was a cat on TikTok that was on their neck, like after, like, bro, like bad. And like we just said last episode with Kevin Hart, when you talk down on anything HBCUs, people gonna be on your neck. People gonna come at you. Oh, nobody went at that dude. Everybody was agreeing with this dude, like just talking down on NCAT's football team. And it's like, dang, like wins and losses come with the sport, but it's like, when you go to HBCU, people expect excellence. So if you're not giving out that excellent, like if that's the standard. So if you're losing, even if it's to another HBCU, people are going to feel like y'all suck. That's why people aren't interested in football at HBCUs. I am, but everybody else, I wish.
And the funny thing about that video, because I know exactly which one you're talking about. The funny thing about that video is North Carolina A&T is probably one of the best HBCU football programs in history for recent history. They won like 4 celebration bowls. They won 3 straight, 2017, 2018, 2019. They were beating those FBS teams. They were beating the 9 HBCU FCS teams. They were sending folks to the league. Shout out to Tyreek Cohen, like Brandon Parker, like making it happen. And then they left the MEAC. They went to the Big South. They did okay over there. Now they're in a tougher conference in the CAA. There's only 2 HBCUs in that conference, Hampton and North Carolina A&T, and both of them He getting beat down. And now you done switched up, coaches done left, legendary coaches done left. It's different. But the thing that's funny about it is homecoming still gonna be homecoming for them though. They still gonna go up regardless, you know?
Regardless. And see, that's the thing. Like you'll find it so shocking. Many people don't even go to the homecoming game.
Yeah, I
like
thought that was wild.
You'll be surprised how many people don't go to the homecoming game. They just 11 a.m. tailgate and they there for 12 hours. They might check in on their phone. Oh, what's the score? All right, bet. Hand me another shot. Like that's how everybody is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. But when I seen that video, I was like, okay, NCAT. Finally something that, you know what I'm saying? Not perfect in one way. Like, you know what I'm saying? But no, you know what I'm saying? I love me some NCAT, but you know what I'm saying? That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when it comes to homecoming, I think it's so many different topics that we can go to. And I think this is a topic that people don't talk about because I have a different view of things. Like, and I'm very open in admitting this, and folks are always shocked. When I was at Fort Valley, I was the popping student leader. I definitely was. But tell you one thing that I did not do, I never went to a party. I never went to a party. You look at, I never went to a party. I never went to all campus party. I went to on campus party gets a little bit iffy, but like a party type of situation. So for me, my conception of student leadership was I want to make on campus so fire that it almost rivals off campus. But it seemed like in some moments, the off campus promoters were like competing with the on campus vibes, when it's like the reason why there is an off-campus homecoming party is because of what's happening on campus. Like we had concert promoters that was programming against our homecoming concert with Lucci in 2017. And I was like, why are y'all doing that? Like we can sort of, in a way, work together, because if people are at the Lucci concert in this safe environment on campus, and then, hey, like go to an after party, go to see these other artists. Now that is an overall great student experience. So I want to get your perspective on it. Like, do you think the off-campus promoters, do you think they do too much to sort of compete against the on-campus vibes?
Well, it's a money game, right? They're not just competing against on-campus, activities. They're competing against everybody. My number one pet peeve when it comes to HBCU, when it comes to parties, HBCUs, when multiple promo groups have parties on the same night. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because now you have a situation where you got three parties, and this happens so often at any Southern school, bro. Really at TSU, a lot. You got three promo groups. They having their party on the same night. Let me tell you what just happened this past homecoming, right? There was a party. The first party, it was called Backwoods and Bonfires. That was just the name of the party, right? The other party was called T Valley, right? Those parties were on the same night. No Greek party that night, just them two. You know what I'm saying? They was competing for the 3 weeks before, to the point where the T Valley people, I don't know if this was fake or not, but a promo or a flyer was posted that said, if you bought a presale to the Backwoods and Bonfire party, you can get in our party with that presale. Like, with that presale. Like, it's a month. But then when that got there, I guess people was telling them, oh, nah, that's not true. Now, you can still pay the fee at the door, but it's like, you can't use this presale. And it's like, I just say all that to say, compete. Promo people, it's a money game, 100%. 100%. They'll compete with anybody. The school, the people in the city that don't even do school parties, but just they have an event on that night. So now they're competing against that because they want everybody to come to their event. It's a money game. So I hate it, but party promo people, everything's about money. It's literally a money game. Sorry to sound like a broken record. It is a money game, bro.
That's
I hate it.
That's fine. I just thought it was just sort of wild, because I feel as if sometimes I can't say it every institution, because I know when I look at Southern's full homecoming like roster, not just the concert, but their roster of events, I'm like, yo, they have like 3 or 4 events on campus, like that the school is sponsoring, that the school is putting together every day. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not saying that every institution has this issues. It has issue when it comes to student life, but it just seems like sometimes the on-campus vibe of homecoming is devalued by off-campus, because it's like sometimes some folks don't want to go off campus. Sometimes folks just want to turn up and celebrate their HBCU on campus. And then I think that oftentimes you have these student leaders, the folks that are on the campus activity board, like the folks that might be in SGA, if at their school, they're the ones that's coordinating the events. They just give up. They say, listen, we're not going to do an event this time because people aren't going to come. In my opinion, I think you put on something good, or you have a celebrity or a comedian or something going on that's a dope concept or a dope vibe, people will come. But I think people just tap out to that off-campus vibe when, in my opinion, that's not what homecoming is. That is a part of it, but the reason why we're here is to celebrate our HBCU. And I feel like you got to be on campus also to celebrate your HBCU. The football component is definitely a part of it, but like I don't understand why the on-campus component gets left out so much.
Because that's the notion that let's just say you're talking about freshmen and sophomores that only care about the parties and all that, and then you got the juniors and seniors. They already done like experience everything, so they don't want to be on them on campus events anyways. That's the vibe that these freshmen and sophomores get even before they come to school. On social media, they see parties. On social media, they see the kickbacks. They see the after school off campus events. So the on campus events are going to be looked at as dry, or even worse, looked at as lame. They don't even know like what it is. Like at my school last week, we were supposed to have a skate event on campus. And I guarantee you probably the reason why they canceled it was because many people, they didn't get a whole lot of traction for it. I didn't believe that they should have canceled it, but they still did. Probably because they felt like it wasn't going to be that big of an event. I'm just like, bro, like you got to have, while we got to get people to come to more of these on-campus events, you still got to have faith that people are going to come. Because many people were upset that skate event got canceled. Like, and it was a popping party that same night. Everybody that went to that skate event was probably going to go to that party. So it's nothing wrong with having both. There's nothing wrong with balancing it out, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a great point that I've seen in the TikTok space. And I've told you I don't be on TikTok. To be honest, I don't really like TikTok all that much. But you know what? I watch you on TikTok. I watch you and I watch a couple other people on TikTok. And I know that one big topic that the TikTokers of the HBCU space have been talking about is the fact that there are a lot of students that are coming in, especially post-COVID, that are looking at HBCU life through this rose-colored TikTok glass, rose-colored TikTok glasses, and then they get to campus and they're like, wait, y'all are working? I thought it was a party every day. So like, do you think that sort of TikTok, Instagram, HBCU page element of, hey, it's lit, it's fun all the time, do you think that's ruining the perception of what HBCU life is, especially in an on-campus context?
100%. 100%, bro. Many people come there. You'll be surprised. It's this new term that's out right now. The YNs. Do you know what the YNs are?
Yes, of course. Yes.
A lot of the YNs are coming to HBCUs just to party. Okay, let's call it a spade, bro. They're coming here just to party because on social media, that's what they see. What you see is going to be the perception, and the perception is going to be reality, but that is not reality at HBCUs, bro. Like, it's actually some real work that's being done out here, bro. Like, of course, the parties are going to be there, but you'll be surprised. Many people come to HBCUs because they think it's fun 24/7. Then you get here and you realize it is fun, but it's not 24/7. That's why, you know what I'm saying, when many people politically talk about HBCUs, they mention like graduation rates and all that, dropout rates and all that, because many people come to HBCUs and they think it's just gonna be fun 24/7. They think they gonna skate on through to graduation. Some people end up getting away with it, but most people don't. So I think it definitely does ruin like the perception of HBCUs. But that's why even when Kevin Hart said, "Oh, Delaware State is just a bunch of young cats just on campus just doing nothing," you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the perception that HBCUs get. So yeah, it does hurt.
And the part that is the messed up part about it is that even within what you just said, there's context, because there's only certain HBCUs that they exempt from that, because they don't say it about Spelman and Morehouse. They don't say it about Howard. It's like, especially if the election go the way it might go, they're not going to say it about Howard. They're not going to say it about FAMU or A&T, but they're going to say it about our schools. Especially the fact that I feel like especially the fact that state institutions. I feel like state institutions are looked at like, man, y'all not no private school. Like y'all not really like that. So it's like because I know for me, like my mom worked on a college campus. She worked at Westland College, and I was asked by one of her students, like when I was in like seventh grade, like, hey, like, what are you gonna do? Like, after you graduate high school, I said, well, I want to go to either Fort Valley or UGA because we in Georgia. And she said, you probably need to go to UGA because Fort Valley is a party school. There's a bunch of girls there. And it's like, well, why do you say that about UGA? Because they party over there too. You know what I'm saying? It's like this perception. If I said I want to go to Moore, I should have been like, okay, I can see that. But saying Fort Valley or another state school, it's like, oh, you gonna party over there? And it's like, no, I didn't party, and I think I'm pretty successful now. You know?
Yeah, indeed. Nah, no, it's literally like the truth. So, and it's something I don't really get because as somebody that done been to a lot of these HBCUs, I done been to a lot of the parties at all these HBCUs. You know what I'm saying? Like the parties are there. Now, some schools is more than you know what I'm saying. Some schools it's more than others. I can't lie. Texas Southern, but you gotta understand it all depends on your area as well. I know when I went to what school was it? I think when I went to Southern, I think it was, they don't have as many parties as we do. But that's because of the area that they're in, the resources that they have, even the party promoters outside. It's not, you don't got too many options. You know what I'm saying? They still gonna pop it. They still gonna have their parties. But in comparison to a school like Houston, Texas, where Houston is like a live city, like you don't even gotta, if you could be in college, not attend a single party, but it's still hella outside events going on, like in the city of Houston in general. We have more resources to have more parties. So when we get that reputation of a party school, yeah, I don't like it, but I understand where it's kind of coming from. Yeah, I understand it.
I get that.
But
I get that. So let's segue to this, okay? Because I remember this was my senior year. My senior year was 2019. I graduated fall 2019. And I remember in fall 2019 because you tell great stories, okay? Like I love your storytelling ability. So I'm pretty sure you're in Texas. You've heard this story, but I will never forget. Okay, I'm at the pinnacle of my time as student leader. HBCU posts popping off. Got all these followers. I went to NASAP, and I got folks that's at Prairie View. All right, and then the homecoming concerts are popping up, and you got K Camp. Okay, that was supposed to be going to Prairie View. And then folks hop on Twitter and like, well, we got K-Camp coming to our concert. And then literally K-Camp, I guess, pulled out, and then K-Camp dissed Prairie View in a rap song, and the song was fire.
The song I remember, because look, check it out. That was my senior year of high school. I was at High Tower. I remember the day that happened. My professor went to PV. I'll never forget, bro. She went to PV. She was teaching us in class, right? Her phone kept blowing up. Right? So we're taking a quiz, and she checks her phone, and she just does this. And like one of her teacher's pets, one of her like favorites, asked her like, "What's wrong?" And it was like, "Kate Camp just like she didn't think we knew who that was. She was like, it's an artist named K Camp, and we all know who that is. It ain't nothing that cut that. You know what I'm saying? We all know who K Camp is. She was all like, K Camp just dropped a song about PV. So we all like, okay, we didn't all apply to PV because we in Houston, obviously. We didn't got offers to go to like PV on scholarships, and some people just applied to go. So we know what PV is as seniors in high school. We played the song in class, and it was the funniest thing I've ever heard, bro. Me personally, I couldn't understand why you as a school would feel negatively, any type of negative mindset about having K Camp. That's something I would never forget. That was one of the funniest days of my life because that diss was crazy. Like I ain't gonna lie, it was crazy. I never forget that. I'll never forget that. You want to know what's funny? Texas Southern, my school, unfortunately, this is one of the things I'm not proud to say. We didn't been in that situation twice.
Really?
Twice. Yes. Young Blue, and while I was there, so
Young Blue, that's my dog. Not Young Blue.
Young Blue.
Y'all didn't want Young Blue?
They say time heals. Like right? So it was announced that we was getting Young Blue, right? This guy. So it was announced that we was getting Young Blue, right? So everybody go to Twitter. This was before Twitter was X. Everybody went to Twitter and started saying, "Who the F is Young Blue?" Like, yeah, he got one song. You know, HBCU students are so spoiled. They was like, yeah, he got one song with Drake, but other than that, what's he gonna do? They was like, it was just one tweet that said, Young Blue is gonna perform your Mind Still for an hour. Like, because that's all that we know. Young Blue goes on Twitter and says, "Oh, I'm not coming to TSU no more. Like, forget TSU." He called us Texas State. I'll never forget. He was like, "I'm not coming to Texas University anymore." We didn't get him back. Then 2 years later, and this is, oh my God, we announced that we was getting Rob 49. This was when Rob 49 was still on the come up. They did the same thing. They announced that we had Rob 49. They went to Twitter and started eating Rob 49 alive until, and I hope that this is appropriate enough for it to get on the show. One of my good classmates, right? We're gonna start her initial by the name D, right? She went on Twitter and said some pretty explicit things about what she would do to Rob 49 if he came. Catch my drift.
When we say explicit, you mean explicit in like a
like I want you to put your mind in the gutter this time. Yes.
But it's two gutters, okay? Which one are we going down? Are we going down like a nuck if you buck gutter or like another gutter? Oh, okay. Okay, got you. Okay.
Yeah. Put your mind in the gutter. That type of gutter. The grown gutter.
Okay.
So she goes to Twitter. She says, she adds Rob 49. Rob, if you come, I will blank, 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 blank. This was after Rob said he not coming anymore. Rob called the school directly and said, "Oh, I'm coming back."
What?
I'm coming. Yes.
And so did he do the show? He did it.
Oh yeah.
Did he meet your classmate?
Now, as for that, I don't know. As for that, I don't know. I'll get the answers later. That's how we got Rob 49 back at TSU after he said he wasn't coming anymore. Moral of the story is HBCU students need to be more grateful for who they get. Like, literally. Like, sometimes you're not going to get Drake. Sometimes you're not going to get Gunna. Sometimes you're not going to get all these folks. But be grateful. Shout out my girl D, bro.
Oh, my. See, but that's cool. This is why we have the Sirius XM show and we got like the YouTube side and the podcast side. Because this is making the show. This is making it. Is it going to make it on Sirius XM? No. But it's going to be on the podcast. It's going to be on YouTube. That is a wild story.
We might got to clip this up and put it on the post, bro.
Oh, no. Maybe. I don't know about that. I don't know if Clutch Post like that at this point. But
nah, I'm gonna for sure put it on my.
Oh yeah, put it on yours for sure. Put it on yours for sure.
Yeah, that was. But and it's funny because that concert was a good show. It was a good concert. Good concert.
And I'm gonna put this on the video version. So for the radio podcast audience, here's what I'm about to show with Young Blue. Okay, so in 2017, this is me. I don't know if you said this is me at Fort Valley with Young Blue, and this is before Young Blue blew up. And I got a chance to interview him, and like he actually a couple months later flamed me on his Instagram because he said I was recording the interview on a beeper like it's 1983 because I wasn't as extravagant or like I had the money to get like a, you know what I'm saying? Like I got the radio microphone. Now, listen, that happened when I graduated. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a degree to get the big bucks. You feel me? But like I ain't had it, and at the time I didn't have an iPhone, so my Android. I'm like, no, I want to make it high quality, so I bought like another external recording device. And I'm like, yeah, I'm interviewing him. And it seemed like Young Blue did not want to talk. And because I felt like it was a lot of situations as to why, because he performed at our event, Jamming the Calf. And Jamming the Calf is in the Calf. Okay. And our Calf is amazing now, but it's the Calf. This is Young Blue. He was tapping with Boosie at the time. So I was like, listen, because I can read energy. I'm like, he don't want to talk. But my person that was over the radio station, Miss Ellis, she was like, no, you gonna interview him. Like, okay. And I'm asking questions. And then I literally said, listen, I got my answers. We don't got to keep going. And Ellis got mad at me. And then Young Blue was like, nah, man, it's all cool. Y'all can ask more questions. Because I felt like he could tell I was being genuine. He put me on his own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, bro, like, I'm the type of person where it's like, bro, if you don't want to do an interview, we don't have to do the interview. Like, I'm gonna live regardless. But he was that cool. Like, he really rocked with me. And that was when Missy, that was 2017 when Missy was out. Like, Young Blue guy hits.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Y'all didn't want Young Blue? What?
Yeah, not gonna lie. I wasn't me as a musician, I was cool with having Young Blue. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was all like, name 5 Young Blue songs. I said, that doesn't matter, bro. Like, whether you know it or not, Young Blue is cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll put on a show. It's not about how many hits you got. It's about putting on a show. You know what I'm
That's
saying? And
true.
I know that he was gonna put on a show. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that whole situation that made short headlines. Not like K Cam dissing PV. That was iconic. But Young Blue dropping out of TSU concert, it made news, unfortunately.
So was this what? So was this like what 2020, 2021? What year was this?
This was in 2021, I believe.
So he had Miss It. He had the mixtape with Lucci. Yeah, he had a few songs. He had. I think he doesn't he have 2 songs with Drake, or he has 1 song with Drake. I feel like he has 2 songs. Yes. Oh, he has 1. Okay.
Yeah.
He got hits like that could have been a really dope. That's crazy. So let's get to this then, okay? Let's get to this because personally for me, I love hip hop. I love music, but I know my hip hop taste is different because my favorite rapper, I'm not afraid to say it, is Big Crit. Okay, that's my favorite rapper. And listen, Big X the Plug, my guy too. Big X the Plug, the new man running it. Like that's my dog right there. So like my taste is very much so Southern, very much so Georgia. You know what I mean? And as I've gotten out of my HBCU life, I listen to way more R&B, and because how life is, way more gospel. Okay, way more gospel.
Yeah.
So I know that my musical tastes are different, and essentially, I am aging out of the college demo, although I'm still around it because of my work. But I look at these some of these lineups for the concerts, and this is what folks gonna get mad at us, okay? Some of these lineups are not looking good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a huge fan of Glorilla. Her album is coming out this Friday as we do this recording, and I believe she might have the album of the year with those features that she has. I do not like Sexy Red at all. I can't stand Sexy Red. But looking
may
at,
I ask why? Even though that's not the point, but may I ask why?
I feel like her music is terrible. I feel as if like I personally don't like her political views. But even before that, I tolerated her because when it's folks that are around my age, like Megan 29, you know, Sexy Red 26, I think 27. I'm 27 right now. So I just naturally support folks that were born around my age range regardless. So I did not like Sexy Red and the image that she portrayed to a point, and I didn't think she was a good artist. But I was like, listen, you 26, you was born in the 90s. I know how it can be. Get your money. Like, get your money. But then when the political comments came out, and then she kept making terrible music, and then she kept getting bigger and bigger. And I see folks at like, what was it, I think Bowie or some schools, like they said, the next artist we're bringing is Sexy Red. And everybody's cheering. And in my mind, I'm like, y'all like this trash music? Her music is horrible. She raps off beat. The beats save her. Like she's not good. And then you have other female artists like Glorilla, for example, who her subject matter is not as divergent from Sexy Red, but Glow can rap. And I feel like people are seeing like, Glow's dropped off. Glow gonna have the album of the year. Glow can out rap your favorite male rapper, to be honest. And it's like, that's who really should have always been getting love. And they can both coexist. I just really don't like Sexy Red, okay? But like Glorilla, I felt like should have gotten that claim. I think she's getting it now. But it perplexed me because I feel like we care about quality in any age demo. We care about quality, and Sexy Red is not good at her job. So why is she on features with Drake? Like, I just don't. Why is she on features with SZA? Like, I don't get it. That's my thing about Sexy Red.
Okay. I just want to know. Yeah, I just want to know.
But
I was because many people, because I don't want to drift too far off of what you was about to ask. But when it comes to Sexy Red, bro, it's such a slippery slope to talk about Sexy Red, because Sexy Red got them supporters, bro. She got them supporters. And as somebody that has been on TikTok and social media a lot, man, the views of people on Sexy Red, they're so interesting because they range all across the board, bro. You got a girl. It was this girl that said, y'all, I can't lie. Like, I don't hate anybody. I know that God doesn't like people that hate, but I cannot hide my hate for Sexy Red. That's what she said. Like she had like she's a teacher in school. She said the way that these babies idolize Sexy Red, like she said, man, one of her kids had to get suspended because Sexy Red flashed herself on live. So then in school, one of her students, and this is a young girl, flashed her crush. Like these are kids, bro. So with me, with Sexy Red, because I know I'm probably gonna meet Sexy Red one day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
Once we all
probably are. Yeah.
get big and all that. But man, Sexy Red, the image that she portrays, bro, like I understand that she's doing what she gotta do to get her money, but man, these kids idolize Sexy Red, and I can't lie. If my daughter were to idolize Sexy Red, I would be scared.
But
I would be worried.
and it's so weird because see, and I think this goes to a broader point that I even wanted to make is that we got to look at who is like big in rap, bro. Like, cause like when we look at even the homecoming concert lineups from back in the day, like, yeah, I think fam, you had like Lil Wayne in his prime, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Howard, of course, in like 2012, like Two Chains and Drake, you know what I'm saying? But look at
Even
who's popping
even
now.
even like Spellman a few years ago, they had Drake.
Yeah,
Unexpected.
2022. But see, but the thing about that is that we're in an ecosystem where Drake is the biggest artist, and Drake, no matter how people feel about him, Drake has always showed love to HBCUs. He really came up Southern Heritage Class. He was at that game in Jackson State gear. Cortez Bryant is an alum of Jackson State, so he was tapped in with Young Money. So like Drake was down there. He shouted out Jackson State, shouted out Howard.
He got a song. He got a song named TSU.
Yeah, shoot, shouted out Texas. So it's like Drake is at the pinnacle. But what happens 10 years from now? Who is going to really be prominent at that point to folks that are 18 to 22 and perform? That's why I think these homecoming lists, I'm gonna clean this up for the Sirius XM side, but these homecoming lists to me, as a music fan, it hurts because I know what these homecoming concerts mean to these students, and I know how they looked a couple of years ago. I am happy for Glorilla. I am happy for Polo G was shocking to me. Like I like Polo G, but for Clark Atlanta,
Polo G?
Clark Atlanta got Polo G.
Okay.
I like Polo G. I was shocked for Clark Atlanta when I think you coming off what was last year Quavo, Lotto, and I think Rob for now be popping up at concerts. Like I'll be like, yo, that's crazy.
Rob for now looking from the HBCUs, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Like, but it's like you got Clark Atlanta had Lotto. And then Quavo, and folks was like, oh, this is Quavo. Quavo is a part of Migos. Like Quavo's got hits for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I look at these lineups now, and I understand these are newer artists. I think Boss Man D-Lo is great. I don't like Sexy Red. Okay, I will continue to say that. I am a huge fan of Glorilla. Skilla Baby, I am familiar with him enough. But like, I feel like he would be good in a lineup, right? Like in a lineup, if you have the money, you're able to bring him in, and then there's another headliner or a couple of other bigger artists, like what A&T does. I feel like it's cool. But man, these lineups are weak to me. I know I'm looking at Claflin. I think Claflin, they're cool. Big Boss Vet is dope. I like her. You have YTB Fat. Boosie, I feel a way about Boosie outside the music, but Boosie's a legend. And you have Big Yavo. I feel like that lineup is nice. You know what I'm saying? Then Glorilla's gonna be at Tuskegee. But I just feel like these lineups are good. And it's like, is it the budget? Is it because you have Sexy Red that is the idol of high school girls? Like why are these lineups so bad?
I ain't gonna lie. These HBCU concert lineups are cheese. Let's just call it what it is. People don't want to admit it. You know what these schools used to do. You know who they used to have. Everybody, it's kind of like an elephant in the HBCU world right now, and people don't want to admit it, but I'm Facts Kool-Aid. I'm gonna say it. These lineups are poo. These lineups are poo. Now, what are the reasons for it? Each school is different. Some schools can probably afford these folks, like the A-list artists. There is not. Tell me how many schools got an A-list artist, and again, that decides what your view of an A-list artist is. If you view Sexy Red as an A-list artist, then our views of music are different when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, whatever. In my opinion, the only A-list artist that I've been seeing, and this is like all across the board, is a Glorilla.
Yeah.
Like for right now. So that's why when I look at Southern's lineup, I was like, and on the post, I was in the comment section. I was like, bro, this lineup is actually insane. Like, I think Southern's in the lead. But a
Over
few years
A&T?
ago, but
Over A&T though?
A&T over who does North Carolina A&T have
Okay.
for the homecoming?
A&T is in the lead, and not FAM used to has to announce. Spellhouse, Morrison Spellman's homecoming, they have to announce. But they have Bryson Tiller, who he came to Fort Valley in 2015. I was there. That was my freshman year. I am a huge fan of Bryson Tiller because I felt like he was popping, but like I saw him from when he came to Fort Valley and did the interview on Fort Valley's campus to him being this mega superstar. So you got Bryson Tiller at an HBCU homecoming concert. You have Boss Man D-Lo. You got Lotto, who I'm a fan of Lotto, Mariah the Scientist. You have Rob 49, and it's hosted by Desi Banks.
Okay, yeah, I stand corrected. But my thing is, compared to what these lineups used to be back in the day, ain't no, like it's no reason why NCAT and Southern are the only schools that have a top tier lineup. And then even still, that top tier is not like what it used to be back in the day. Now, is it because of budgeting? Is it because of I just learned something new? Actually, some artists you could bring, but the safety.
Yes.
There's safety hazards bringing a few artists. Why you think NBA YoungBoy and folks like that when he was not arrested, some artists, why you feel like they can never bring them because it's a security safety hazard. Like
and what I'll say too, real quick, I didn't cut you off. What I will say too is you're totally right. And on some state campuses, because a lot of our HBCUs are state HBCUs, if you have a felony on your record, no matter if you serve your time, if you are doing amazing things, you cannot come on campus. And that for a lot of student activities boards, you want to get an NBA YoungBoy. Like you want to get some of these artists, but in the past, they've done things that they clearly regret now, and they've done their time and they do what they do. But they can't come on campus because of that for state schools.
And see, let me put you on. You want a reason why all these HBCU concert homecoming lineups are sorry? You trying to get the top tier artists, but guess what? All these top tier artists are not like the top tier artists of what they used to be, bro. These new top tier artists are all quote unquote bad people. Like these are people that our parents would not want us idolizing. Back in the day, my people would not. Back in the day, many people's parents wouldn't mind somebody idolizing J. Cole, Lil Wayne, like Kendrick Lamar. But now the top tier artists that we got now are all rappers that be out here in the streets, which if you want to be in the streets, that's fine. But my thing is, another reason why these HBCU concerts suck is because these top artists that these people are trying to book, they can't even come because it's going to be a safety hazard. And that's what many people don't realize when it comes to booking these concerts, bro. If your school books an artist that any type of fight could like break out, you got an issue with shootings, with guns, with weapons, that school is fried. So that's why these schools have to just play it safe and just get calm artists. That's why Sexy Red and Lotto and Glow, they're going to get booked way more than usual because, you know what I'm saying, the top tier artists that we got now, not safe to come. Like, it's a shame. These concerts are looking very weak, but as I'm very excited because FAMU is in Spellhouse. I'm going to be there for my homecoming tour. So whatever they announce, we will be there. So I'm excited for that.
Hey, I feel it. And another thing too is this, and this is something that I see now more from the SGA side when I was in SGA, but also from the HBCU Pulse side of me doing this now for a living is that you have an artist. If you're like, if you got Megan Thee Stallion to do your homecoming concert in 2019, when her music really started to take off nationally, you're lucky, and that is a moment in your history because Megan could come to a homecoming and do something and do a discounted price, but because of her acclaim, because of the commercials, the sponsorships, and the fact that her music is doing well, you are probably not going to get Megan at your HBCU unless you're paying hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. Same thing for a Drake, Kendrick, like artists that like are artists. Now I know that like maybe Kendrick for a homecoming, like he has songs that could go off on homecoming, especially now. But like I doubt we would see that unless Kendrick is like, listen, I'm gonna pop out of one of these HBCUs just because. But like your higher tier artists, you got to get Drake in 2012 because Drake in 2024, unless he pops up and does 2 songs because his brother 21 Savage, he's not coming to your HBCU unless you are paying a gang of money. So like I feel like Lotto is going to be in a situation where Lotto in a couple years she ain't coming to no HBCU because her price is going to be so high. And then a lot of people don't know this. I'm going to toss back to you. Is that for a lot of these HBCUs, the money that goes towards creating this concert that folks get so upset about and diss the artists about, that is coming from the same student budget that helps you do Spring Fling, that helps you do all these other events, that funds different organizations because that money is then divvied up and taken out. At least at Fort Valley it was. So
I got something to say. I got something to say about that. I've always wondered. So we're talking about these trash HBCU concert lineups, right?
Yeah.
I've always wondered, bro. And many people are going to agree with this when I say this. Is he definitely going to spark a conversation? What's wrong with the students if alumni can willingly give their money back to schools? What's wrong with putting out a post on the official Instagram of whatever HBCU or school that you go to? Because any college can use this. Each student donate $15 to $20. And then once we get that money, we could add that in to the fund of getting an artist. I guarantee you at a school like my school in Houston, Texas, every student, if we donate $5, $7, $10, like everybody that wants a homecoming concert, I seen who was outside when we had Vicky Lowe and Raw 49 and when we had G Herbo and all that, alumni come back, everybody, we could get a top tier artist. I promise you. What's wrong with the students putting in to have a homecoming concert, even if it's $2 to $3 to $5? But that would literally, we would get way better artists, and then each year more people would want to put to it, bro. I never understood why that can't happen. We go to HBCUs, they towing cars, they giving out tickets, they handing out unnecessary fines. We paying all this money for books. We paying a lot of unnecessary money. We paying for cat food that we got to eat the same every day. But when it comes to something fun, why can't we all come together? Why won't they let us bring money, $2, $3, $5, $6 each student for an amazing concert, bro?
But here's the thing with that, because you bring up a great point. So on the SGA side, and I can only really speak, because I don't want to speak erroneously. I can only really speak on Fort Valley. I know that there was a push at Fort Valley in 2018 because students wanted a homecoming concert and they saw what Clark Atlanta was doing. They saw what Southern was doing. They saw what FAMU was doing. It was like, hey, let's push to increase our student fee, because you already, like for a lot of HBCUs and a lot of colleges in general, you pay set in fees with your tuition. So you're paying an athletic fee already. You're paying a student activity fee that goes towards the student activity budget. And then typically that money is then divvied up towards different organizations. Then you have that set aside for SGA or CAB or what have you for events. So for a lot of different schools, and some schools have successfully done this, but I know for us, a lot of schools, a lot of students was like, we're not trying to pay an extra so and so dollars on top of the tuition we already pay and the loans were already taken out. And I take your point, because it's a great point that if you do want Megan Thee Stallion or you want Lotto when she ultimately gets bigger and bigger, or Glorilla when she gets bigger and bigger, that's going to take some money if people value the concert so much. But like I feel like that, like, it is a more complex process that some schools and SGAs and student leaders have been able to implement. But for a lot of schools, it ain't really on the students. It is on their board. I know for Georgia, like for Fort Valley, like we can't just say, hey, Dr. Jones, just raise the fee. You know what I'm saying? We have to go to the university system of Georgia, and now there has to be a conversation with them of, okay, we're going to raise this student activity fee. Then on top of that, we can't say, hey, we want to raise student activity fee because we want Megan Thee Stallion. That can't be the reason why, you know?
Let me tell you something. I don't know how they would get around it, but let me tell you this, and I dare anybody to disagree with me. If my school, if any HBCU in the country says puts out a national post, we have a chance to get Beyonce if every student donates $10. If they were to post that, I guarantee you, every student will donate $20 just to see that. Just to see that. Whatever way that they need to get around it, that is the way to get a concert. And then you can make a rule: whoever didn't donate can't come to the concert.
Oh,
Whoever,
no.
whoever
Okay,
didn't
no.
donate can't come to the concert. If you got an artist, if you got an artist like, if you got an artist, a A-tier artist, because at the end of the day, HBCU students are spoiled when it comes to artists for a concert. They see that Spellman had Drake. They see that NCAT has Bryson. They see that these top tier artists have Kane. They put out a post says if everybody donates $20, we'll get that top tier artist. Everybody will donate $30 for that.
I'm
Like,
not
what?
as confident. I don't think people. I think a lot of people complain. I think this is life in general. I think a lot of people complain and they don't put in the action to make things happen. So even if that was an option, I don't think that there would be enough students. Maybe, and I know HBCUs are larger than mine. Like we have like around 2,500 students, and when I was there, I think we jumped up 2,700. So I know for us that'd be a little bit different because I don't think enough active students would have said, hey, we're going to put this money into the FDSU Foundation or the SGA budget to do this. I think maybe Texas Southern or FAMU is different. But I think that also it might matter who's booking the concert, like who you get to book it. And also, shout out to Fly Guy DC, because who you get to host the concert actually post 2021 when he did that crazy Clark Atlanta show when Gunna was the headliner, but Fly Guy DC brought out all them folks. And then at Spell House, like Fly Guy DC didn't bring out Drake, but he brought out a bunch of people, and 21 brought out Drake because that wasn't through Morehouse or Spellman. That was through 21 Savage. So maybe there needs to be an expectation that if you Glorilla, if you are coming to like TSU or you're coming to this concert, bring Yo Gotti. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bring money bag. Okay. Like, or maybe the host needs to be like, okay, hey, who can I call in my iPhone that I met at the radio station or that I've hosted for that I can bring to do something? Like, how Fly Guy DC set a precedent? Because I just don't believe that we can count on, number one, the students to do that in this hypothetical, or we can't count on every school to say, hey, we are going to lobby for our student activity fee to go up so we can afford more expansive events or more fancy artists. How about we get artists and hosts and promoters that can do it for us?
It's so the reason why many people are so frustrated with HBCUs is they're not looking into all the possible ideas. Because I'm 100% with you. Use a promoter, bro. Use a promoter. And it's just like there was something else I was gonna say, but I forgot because I didn't got started with the whole donation thing. Because that's such a good idea to me, but obviously that goes into regulations and school policies and guidelines, so that's probably not possible. But if that were to happen, every school would thank me later.
Yeah, but I think another thing too is that what is the priority of a homecoming concert? Because I think often what I think a lot of students have to think about, because I think that when we're in that moment and when we're there, we're like, fam, you have so-and-so, you got A&T has Bryson Tiller and Lotto. Well, if I'm at Fort Valley or if I'm at Albany State or if I'm at Savannah State, like, why can't we have that? And there's money reasons, but there's also booking reasons. There's availability reasons. There's reasons based on criminal records or lack thereof. So like there are multiple reasons why that doesn't happen. But I also believe that what is the value of the concert? Do you want a popping concert that can be put on HBCU polls? People say, oh, well, y'all's lineup is so amazing. Or do you want a good week of events for homecoming? Because I think that if you have a homecoming, you have a homecoming concert, we bring Drake and Drake performs all his hits because we paid millions of dollars to bring him, but there ain't no event on campus and the only events are off campus. I bet you that students will still complain and say, well, SGA, a cab, or SUAB is so lame because why wasn't there events on campus? Students, I feel like at a point, students are never satisfied. And I think that the concert is the new way. And I think that I played a part in it. with HBCU Pulse. I think HBCU media, incidentally, has played a part in it because we've set the expectation. Because if we put, well, Southern has Jeremiah and Big Boogie and Glorilla, now
Bro,
at Fort
that
Valley,
that lineup is. I'm sorry, that lineup is so crazy. I just have to keep
I feel
reiterating
that.
that. I seen Southern's lineup and I almost cried. I said, "Jesus Christ!" Because I'm going to Howard that week, all the way from Houston. I'm going to Howard. That line was crazy. But like as I mentioned, bro, HBCU students are just never satisfied, bro. And I was about to disagree with you until I thought about it. I said, if if TSU said, look, it's either we can have a list of we can have a week of events, we could turn the campus up, have a tailgate, or we cut off everything and then we just get Drake. I feel like a lot of people would still be mad at that. So I
They
ain't gonna lie,
would,
you're right.
and
You're 100% right.
I think that they would have a right to, because what is homecoming? Homecoming is a celebration of your HBCU, and I think that, and I'm go a little bit deeper here. Like I feel like it is a thing about impressing people. It's a thing about posturing for people. It's a thing about creating experiences, because once you graduate, there's a lot of experiences that if you had a good college experience, you're going to look back on. So the thing is that, do I want to say, hey, Drake came to my campus, or do I want to have that skate night party where it was something that was really dope, and I remember in my moment with my friends or my peers, and that was something that happened. And I think it goes to promotion too, because yes, it is cool that Drake, that Glorilla, that Lotto, that Megan might come to your homecoming. That is amazing. And incidentally enough, like students that go to predominantly white institutions see us as the celebrity schools, because the celebrities donate to us and graduate from us and come to our schools. But,
Yeah.
but like I saw that in the podcast. I'm like, yeah, they're celebrity school. But like at the same time, this goes a little bit deeper, because this is sort of the alumni side, the SGA side, the recruitment side. What are we selling to students? Because yes, they go on TikTok and they see whatever, but are we selling, hey, you can come to this dope concert, or are we selling that the HBCU student experience is lively? Because if we're selling that the HBCU student experience is lively, we are selling a week of homecoming events that we can then take pictures of, we can then do videos of, we can then do short form TikTok videos of, that go on HBCU Pulse and these other HBCU outlets, that then help get students. If that is our pitch, if our pitch is, we have a campus experience that is different from if you go to University of Houston. I'm gonna go to Texas Southern instead of University of Houston, and that Texas Southern experience is enriching, but also the HBCU experience itself, on campus, off campus, is different. If that is what we're selling, Drake ain't gonna get me there. What's gonna get me there is that skate night event, is that day party on campus. That's what's gonna get me there. The comedy show, even though that sort of goes to a booking thing too, the comedy show is gonna get me there. I think that people are looking at HBCU Pulse, they're looking at other media outlets, and they're trying to say, well, my HBCU is so much better because we got Glorilla. Who cares at this point? Have fun. That's all, you know.
No, bro. I'm telling you, it's everybody's mindset. Everybody's mindset is different. It's a lot of flawed mindsets when it comes to this principle. I always call it HBCU politics. How is your school better than me because you got Glorilla? Like, it would make most sense if you be like, your school is better than me because they beat the F out of us in football. Like, I get it I get it if you say your HBCU is better than mine because of graduation rates. No. They say your HBCU sucks. Mine is better than yours because our parties are better than yours. They say my HBCU sucks and theirs is better than mine's because they had a better homecoming concert. They say that my HBCU sucks, and I'm not saying my HBCU in general. I'm just saying, like, for example, things that I've like heard from different school to different school. They say we're better than this HBCU because we have more parties. We're better than them because our dorms look better. I'm like, bro, like,
whoa, that's fair.
That?
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, that's fair, but then it goes back into funding. You
Yeah,
also get better funding. You get better funding, bro. Like, it's just like, I just hate the friendly competition of HBCUism. It kills me.
Yeah.
It kills me. Not gonna lie. But homecoming and things like that should not be the standard of what makes one school better, because then that leads to, okay, it puts pressure on them. Okay, we have to have a good homecoming concert. We might gotta screw over some on-campus events for the sake of the concert because this school had this. You know, so that persona, that reality, it kills everything. You're right. You're 100% right. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
100%.
Listen, I think that ultimately when it comes to homecoming, I think that homecoming is important. And I think that within HBC life, a lot of stuff is minimized. And one thing I never wanted to be, and hopefully I never am, right? When I get to 36, hopefully, or 46, I never want to be like, oh, this homecoming concert doesn't matter. SJ don't matter. Greek life don't matter. It does, because those are your formative years. And then these are the things that with HBCUs that we are selling to high school students, a lot of disaffected high school students that might not feel the same way that you or I feel, because you said when y'all was in high school that y'all had already got offers from PV to go there, and y'all thought y'all was going there, and then Texas Southern. I know for some schools, especially in some areas, they might not have an HBCU, or that outreach might not be there. But I feel like if we want to, in this social media environment, create a compelling pitch to HBCU students, I think that we have to make sure that we're providing that experience. And Greek life matters, homecoming experience matters, spring fling experience matters, because that's what we're pitching. But what I will say before we move on and close out the show is I do believe, okay, two things. I believe three things. Number one, I believe that if you're SGA president and you are over homecoming, kind of how I was at Fort Valley when I was there, or if you were like a CAB, SUAB, I think that there should be more overtures to go get sponsors, or if that hasn't already happened, because some schools might do it, to go get sponsors, or to go get money, external money, and make sure that external money is clean, or if it's possible to do it, because it might not be possible, to make that experience happen, number one. Number two, I think for the student leaders, okay, should sit down with the party promoters, seriously, not a joke, and say, listen, we know that you are going to be putting on a party. Don't compete with what we have going on. Let us have the day, except unless it's Friday. Friday's day party day. But let us have the day, okay? Maybe y'all can help us out. Come turn us up, all right? And then the night, do what you do. Like, let's figure out.
Before you say your third thing, before you say your third thing, everybody knows one of my favorite sayings, two things can both be true. It's true that the student leaders should go to the outside party promoters and be like, look, let us have this day so that we could turn this up for these students, these same students that you want to come to your party. It's also true that if you go to them and say that, they're going to look at you like you crazy.
Would they really though? You sure?
It's a money game. They don't care about what SGA and CAB got going on. Come to our party. Buy the pre-sale.
But the only thing, but what if there is a collaborative effort where it's like, listen, I know of a way where we cannot promote your party with like drugs and liquor and XYZ. We cannot promote that as a student organization. However, we can create an experience that works for the students where if they come to this day party that is on campus at the popping campus spot on the yard or on the set at FAMU or the library patio at Fort Valley, then that happens. And then now you bring in the new popping artist that's popping up on the radio in at the club. I feel like that's a better experience for everyone. And then they're getting a total full experience. You're getting that on-campus experience, you're getting an off-campus experience, and everybody wins. And then they get money, and then we not getting money, but we're getting ego points because we're like, yeah, we put on a good homecoming, you know?
Yeah. And then also you got to understand, party promoters are also selfish people. They want the credit for everything. They don't want to share credit with SGA. Who is SGA? That's what they're thinking. They don't want to share it with CAB. Who is CAB? Like, they want to put it on their own. They want all the money. It's a money game. The students on campus sell the pre-sales. These party promoters, their team is students on campus. So literally, when you want to combine that, and this is somebody, I've never been a part of a promo group. I didn't offer to be a part of a live. You combine that, less money, less consideration. They're gonna look at you crazy. I'm telling you.
Well,
I wish. I really do wish.
Here's what I think we should do then. Okay, here's what I think we should do. There needs to be maybe some party promoters or members of that party promotion team that's a part of CAB or is a part of SGA. Bring them in the cabinet. That's politics. See, people don't know about that politics, man. Politics. That's what happens in real life. You want to get some things to happen, you got to bring some folks to the table. All right. Bipartisan legislation, SGA and the party promoters. Bipartisan legislation. Let's come together and make this a great HBCU experience at this point. But I'll say the last thing here. I think that HBCUs and in turn the alumni, they have to work in tandem with their alumni that are making things happen. And there are alumni that work in the music industry, that are popping DJs, that work with artists, that are radio personalities. That this is one thing I was big on at Fort Valley. We at Fort Valley, we have a great roster of folks that are popping. DJ Holiday went to Fort Valley. He was Nicki Minaj's DJ. He was Gucci's DJ. Like we got radio personalities that went to Fort Valley, came through the same program that I came from. Why are we not tapping in with them to get artists to host functions on campus? Like, why were we not doing that? And then there are other institutions, really all of our institutions, that have these same setups. Why are we not working with them? Number one, to possibly find a way to fund an event like that. Number one, and number two, like, why are we not working with them to make that experience? I know for me, if Fort Valley called me and HBC Post like, hey, like we want to figure out a way to promote what we're doing or do this experience where we're promoting the Fort Valley experience through homecoming, I would love that. I dreamed of being at Pop and HBCU alumni. I would do that. I might do it for free. Like, probably would do it for free because that's how much I love Fort Valley. You know what I'm saying? Like, why, I just don't understand. Like, if you fast forward, if you are on the radio, you have the biggest podcast amongst Black folks, why are we not bringing you on campus to do a live podcast? Why are we not bringing on campus to interview an artist? Like, that's stuff we have to do because that makes it all better. My opinion.
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Like, first of all, that should be happening. And I also feel like that's happening behind closed doors. I wouldn't put it past the people that book all these artists at these HBCUs that they're asking their connections. It's all about who you know. Now, to the personal example, it depends, bro. Like most you'll be shocked. And I done spoken to a lot of famous alumni from HBCUs. When they was at their HBCUs, they wasn't getting supported like that. I'm a big advocate. I'm not a big advocate, but I always mention anytime any content creator at any HBCU DMs me and says, I need tips. The first thing I say is, don't rely on people from your own school to support you. They probably will not. I always tell people, the people that support you least are the people that know you personally. The people that support you least are the people that know you personally. The people, let's just say from my school, because I was hoping you wasn't gonna say it, but since you did say it, if my school called me back in 7 years and told me they want me to do stuff, would I do it? I really don't. I really don't know. Most of my success has come from outside of TSU. There's no reason why I'm finna go on a HBCU tour that was my idea from the jump. Yet I got inquiries from other schools wanting me to come out there and do a radio show, a podcast show. But to do it on my own campus, like during homecoming, sponsored, is an issue. There's no reason why other schools, when I go to their school, I can be on their stage. I can do this and that. But on my school, it's an issue. And they know that I'm a figure in the HBCU land. It's like you'll be surprised how many alumni don't want to help. For instance, Megan Thee Stallion. You know, Megan Thee Stallion refuses from what we know. She refuses to perform at TSU.
Really?
She went to TSU. Wow. Megan didn't perform at TSU. You wanna know why? Because when she was here, they didn't support her. They did not support her when she was here. Megan Thee Stallion is funny. She'll do a sponsorship. She did a sponsorship with Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and this is a fire story, by the way. I'm gonna make it quick because I know we gotta leave. For weeks, they was promoting a Megan Thee Stallion sponsorship called Flamin' Hot, right?
Flamin' Hot University.
Megan Hot, they said at the end of it, Megan Hot is gonna come to TSU. Everybody better come out. She's gonna come. At the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, that's weird because me being tapped into like the big known people that I know personally, Megan Thee Stallion don't come out to TSU because of the past. She come to TSU. TSU puts on a big pep rally for it. Everybody stand outside like it's a homecoming concert, right? I'm back there with Megan because I do media, so I'm back there with her. Of course, I'm keeping my distance. You know what I'm saying? We only met a few times in life, but she's in there. She's doing a panel. Then they announced outside because not everybody could come inside. It was only like 20 people that I was inside. She go outside. Somebody makes an announcement. All right, y'all welcome Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion walks outside. Everybody's going crazy. In my mind, I'm like, oh, this girl's about to perform. That's crazy. Megan Thee Stallion, she gets the mic. She says, Hey y'all, it was a pleasure coming out. Blah 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 blah. See y'all. Walks right back inside. Walks right back inside. She didn't have the microphone for more than 10 seconds. You should have seen the look on everybody's faces outside. It was maybe a few hundred people outside, like on a hot weekday. She not performing because they did not support her, bro. You'll be surprised how many alumni that are famous, that are popping, was not getting support like that. If you wasn't in SGA, which Megan Thee Stallion wasn't, if you wasn't in Royal Court, which Megan Thee Stallion wasn't, if you wasn't Greek or high and mighty, well, I'm not even gonna say Greek. Let me not even say that. Royal Court, SGA, high position, you'd be surprised how many people weren't getting support. That's why now they don't give back as much as they should. When people get mad that Megan Thee Stallion won't perform at TSU, I completely get it. Y'all should have supported her. I heard whenever she tried to perform, she got booed.
Got booed?
Yeah,
at Texas
Southern.
That
was what I heard. That was what I heard. But
Oh.
that was before she was. That was before she was who she was today.
Oh wow.
You got to stay down.
Yeah.
And if you don't stay down, people are going to remember that.
Yeah. That listen, you brought up a whole entire other topic that we can talk about, because I do understand that. And what I'll say is that I know from what I tried to do as a student leader is I heard a lot of those stories. And I was that person that like, hey, I'm popping, I'm doing HBCU polls. And I know that from my peers at certain points, not everybody, but it wasn't fully supported because my vision wasn't, hey, I'm only going to solely promote Fort Valley. I'm going to promote all HBCUs. And for some folks at that time, some folks didn't really understand that because they thought it was phony or fake or whatever. And I know that made me feel away. And I know for me as a student leader, I wanted the future Megan Thee Stallions to be like, hey, there was someone in student leadership that looked out for me. Like I wouldn't not look for nothing in return. I'm looking for that person to love this and want to give back. And I think that oftentimes there is an alienation that happens. That is like, hey, like when they become Megan Thee Stallion or they become this big person, how were they being supported? Because there's a reason why the Will Packer Amphitheater at FAMU is called the Will Packer Amphitheater. Because Will Packer had an amazing time at FAMU, and he continues to give back because he loves it. Versus for some other institutions, some alumni ain't doing that because of the fact of their experience. Yeah.
I'm telling you, like literally, in that Megan Thee Stallion example, because that story has never been 100% confirmed by her. Just people like around her, and it's like when anybody talks about, oh, Megan Thee Stallion, like after that happened, the students was in disarray. Oh, Megan played us. She did that. I know the real story, but I was just going around like, yeah, Megan Thee Stallion is a mother effing Aquarius, bro. She's not finna perform for y'all after they didn't support her. Like it's just it is what it is, man. And again, this is not everybody. There's some alumni of HBCU that they come back and they do everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look at somebody like I was gonna say Will of FAMU. It just depends, and some people went through it, some people didn't.
But you know what's crazy though? What I'll say, and then we'll conclude. I think it's wild to have expected her to perform. Personally, me.
You said what?
I think it's wild that they expect her to perform. Like because for me, how I look at it is she's here because I remember that video because I was last year I was with Clutch Points and they sent over the press release about Flamin' Hot University and the whole entire 9 yards with I think they had like the apparel, and then she did the surprise. The news was there. The students got the scholarships, and then she came out. Everybody was out there. I remember that video. I didn't know that portion of it, but I remember the video because I had covered it for Clutch Points. But like the thing is that for me, what I will say is that if Megan is coming on campus and we know what she does for a living, we know the prices that she commands at this point. My expectation is not for her to perform. My expectation is to give her a great experience, for her to interface with students because she's comfortable around her folks. She's from the area. Yeah. She's a graduate. Yeah. And then from there, what we can do, people know how to foster relationships, is politics. You foster the relationship and you play the long game, not saying like, hey, well, I want to get her to perform. Do that because that's your alumni. But like you can foster the relationship where next year it can be Megan Thee Stallion presents TSU Homecoming Concert and she's performing and she might bring Megan Thee Stallion and friends TSU Homecoming Concert. We don't know how to do politics. We do not know how to network because we get in our own way. That's all. Because I don't expect her to perform. Then on top of that, the event that it was, I love Megan on real life is one of my favorite rappers right now. Like I vow and shout out to Megan for putting Big Crit on her album. All right, because that I'm rocking with Megan forever for that because that surprised me because it wasn't listed. That was a surprise feature on her album, Big Crit. It was crazy. So Megan's good for me forever. But like some of Megan's music is not something that in an official capacity like that she can perform. Like, hey, give me the microphone. I'm gonna do Body. I'm gonna do Big Old Freak. Like that's not something that at a school sanctioned event like that would be good. To be honest. Now Megan has other songs that are dope, but I don't know if that would have been the best look, but that would have been a better look at the homecoming concert. And that is how you work, especially with your young alumni. Because we're going to do a show about it because a lot of these folks do not support their young alumni in an environment where social media is creating internet stars and internet celebrities. TikTok is creating stars and celebrities. Podcasting is creating stars and celebrities. Instagram is creating stars and celebrities. YouTube, the same thing. How you treated young alumni in 2004 is now how you treat them in 2024 and 2025. But a lot of folks that work at these HBCUs don't realize that, and that is the problem. We have a Megan Thee Stallion that is 29 years old, that graduated, I think, in 2021, that is a young alumni or other folks at other institutions that might not be tapped in. That is the problem. That honestly is the problem. But we'll talk about that more. We're gonna do an episode on that.
No, I'm telling you, man. They were like, oh, she should have at least come for homecoming. She could have given us discount. Megan Thee Stallion ain't giving us no discount. She ain't giving us no discount. I'm telling you, like, no, like. It is what it is, man. We gonna talk about it.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next show. We already planning the next show. We love to see it. Hey, but listen, this is an amazing show. So I want to ask you before we go. So we did the graphic, the build your own homecoming. That's been a staple of the social media feature for HBCU Pulse Instagram. And shout out to Croy and our designer Kamani. Croy is our head of digital. She and Kamani helped come up with the design and also the artist. I was not involved at all. Okay, because I do know some of these artists, but not well. Okay, now if we get to 30,000, who is this person? All right, but 300,000, I might know him. But I want to ask you, based off this list, all right, we have 300K, 100K, 75K, 50K, 30K, and I'm going to try to read the people. So 300K, you got Megan Thee Stallion, Gunna, The Weeknd, Future, Kendrick Lamar, SZA, Aske, and Travis Scott, and you have $600,000 to spend. $100,000, you have Lotto, Big Sean, Chief Keef, Sexy Red, Glorilla, Don Toliver, Tim's, Victoria Monet. $75,000, you have Bryson Tiller, JT, Lil Baby, Kodak Black, NLE Chopper, Kalani, Brent Fayez, Key Glock. Okay, $50,000, you have V's, Boss Bandilo, Cali, Lucky, Rima, Lil Yachty, Dolce, and YTB Fat. And at $30,000, you have Flo Milli, you have Real, Boston Richie, you have Lil Tyler, you have Monalegro, you have No Cap, you have Anisi, I probably didn't say that right, Cash Cobain, and Huncho. And you have $600,000 to build out your ideal homecoming lineup. So who would you be picking?
With me? Let's see. Let me see, man. Honestly, you said 6,000
with 600,000, not 600,000. And I want to say one.
600,000.
I also want to say too that these are not the representation of the real prices of these artists. You are probably not getting Kendrick Lamar before he performs at the Super Bowl for $300,000. I just want y'all to know that. Anyway,
with me, I go with for only 600,000.
Yeah,
that's gonna be tough. If my math serves me correctly,
I'll do the math for you.
It's so funny. I'm not even trying to sound like a casual who just doesn't want to do any math, but you'll give people the experience of a lifetime with 2 of the 300Ks. But I keep it calm though. We'll do Kendrick Lamar obviously because I feel like out of all the artists there, he's the best one. Then I get 100,000, so I give that to I give that to Glorilla. Just you know what I'm saying. She's popping right now. So right now we're at 400K, right? Then you got to get Kodak. You got to get Kodak. So now we at $475,000. We only have $125,000 left. I say you get you get Lil Yachty because everybody knows Yachty. Let's see. Ooh. I lied. Instead, so I'm at 475 right now. I'm gonna add another 75K and I'm gonna get Key Glock. No, I lied. I'm gonna get Brent Fayez, who should not be in that $75,000 tier. Not gonna lie to you. So right now we're at let's see.
So you're at exactly with the people you have. You're at exactly 600,000. So you did it.
Oh, perfect.
You did
that would be the best concert ever. So we got Kendrick Lamar, we got Glorilla, we got Brent Fayez and Kodak Black.
Yeah,
that's a perfect lineup.
Yeah, hey,
that is a perfect lineup. That's a perfect lineup.
I like it.
That's a perfect lineup.
I like it. So here's what I would do. If I want to take the easy way out, I'm definitely probably gonna get Kendrick and Future. And take the easy way out. Just pay the 600,000 for that, and I think people go up for it. But if,
you can't make it that easy.
But yeah, I can't. I'm gonna do a more challenging route. Okay, so honestly, what I'll do, Megan has to be my headliner. And Megan has to be the headliner. So 300,000. Okay, so we got Megan Thee Stallion. So I'm definitely because I got to get something for the guys. I'm probably gonna get Glorilla for 100,000. Okay, so let's see. So that already we're at 400,000. So we gotta get some for the guys. So we probably would need to get Real Boston Richie. So that's 30,000 because you know what I'm saying that's something that folks like. In this example, Kodak can come on campus, but we gonna see what happens because he might can't come on campus for real. With the different regulations. Is that Lil Baby? Oh, Lil Baby for 75,000 for sure. Because we got to make sure.
I didn't. Yeah.
We got to make sure that the guys are good. All right. And then I want to get like an R&B situation. So where I'm at, so I'm at 505,000. Oh, I can get Bryson Tiller then. I can get Bryson Tiller. So
where's Bryson at?
Bryson Tiller is at the 75,000 range. And that's 580,000. And then 20,000 go towards scholarships. How about that?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
20,000 to go back into the SGA budget to make sure Spring Fling works or to make sure that one of our organizations can go on a trip somewhere. Okay. We got to put it back in the budget. You see, under budget. You feel me?
That's crazy, man. I feel it though.
Like you got a budget surplus. So now someone's going to Washington. All right, someone's going on a trip in January. All right, we going up to the inauguration. All right, with the 20,000. Yep. You feel me? So listen,
I feel it.
There we go. So budget surplus. I like that. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing about this exercise. Ultimately, this is often what HBCUs have to go through when they book concerts because there's not expansive budgets. It normally is around this amount of 600,000 for the whole homecoming, but the concert maybe that or less. So what I like about this assignment, and my guy Jalen Baker said this, who works in student life and leadership at an HBCU, right? He always says he loves this exercise every year. It lets students know that it ain't that easy. Then let's not forget people going on Twitter and dissing the artist. Okay. And then the artist says, well, guess what? I'm not coming. You know what I'm saying? And then you have other situations that are going on. And now that messes up the lineup. You got natural disasters that mess things up. You have availability dates that mess things up. You know what I'm saying? So it gets tricky. So the moral of the story when it comes to homecoming, especially for concerts, is enjoy the experience. And also give your SGA, your CAF, whoever's putting on the homecoming concert, the leeway. Because it's homecoming, and it's all about showing love to our HBCU. That's all it's about. But I like our lineups. I think we did a good job. And maybe an HBCU should book us to put on the concert. You feel me? Give us a budget. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
At this point. But Fast Cool, I think this is an amazing show. Listen, where can we find you on social media, and how can we support you on your podcast?
Podcast is on YouTube, official.facts. That's FAX.Kool-Aid, KOOLAID. Social media platforms is all facts.Kool-Aid. Again, the facts is FAX, Kool-Aid, KOOLAID.
I love it. I love it. You're listening to HBCU Pulse Radio.
Like what you hear?
Yeah.
Subscribe to HBCU Pulse Radio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, head to HBCUPulse.com to stay up to date on what's going on in the HBCU community. Thank you for listening to HBCU Pulse Radio.